Last week, something strange happened in Kenyan politics, uh, especially in Rift Valley kind of politics, where Gideon Moi and President William Ruto came in an agreement, agreed to work together. So it's something that came as a surprise to see Gideon Moi and Ruto, especially working together in the State House and even holding uh, a meeting in Kabarak. Yeah. So it was something strange. So it's something that should be discussed and something in politics that we have to look at it as we move to 2027. So in October 2025, the move he made this October, it surprised so many people. Yeah, because he shelved. The way I'm saying Gideon Moi, he went in and shelved his senatorial ambition for Baringo and aligned his party to UDA, which is run by President Ruto. It should be known that Baringo is the home county for Gideon Moi and the Moi family. Moi himself, the second president of Kenya, was a representative of the area for a very long time, nearly 24 years. And it has been known as a region where Kanu still has a lot of power. So if Moi decided to run for that seat, if he did not shelve his ambitions, there was a very good chance that he would have become the senator for Baringo. So in this episode of the Hopkins experience, we want to unpack the story of Gideon Moi, the decision he made, the deal, and the calculation that he made before dropping out of this race, because it did not make sense to me that he dropped it. So we have to know what really happened before dropping out. Yeah, there was a meeting in State House on that day of nominations, where on that day where aspirants were presenting their papers to IBC to be cleared to run for the senator seat. Moi was not there. Moi went, by Moi I mean Gideon Moi, went to State House to meet with the president and discuss some things. On the ground in Baringo, most of his supporters had already moved to the IBC office, I think in Cabernet, to wait for him to come and present his papers and be given a certificate to run as a senator in the by-elections that are going on. So as people waited, time passed, and Gideon Moi did not show up to present his papers. So it was at the end of the day, people of Baringo who are his supporters got frustrated and left the cabinet and just went home in frustrations because they wanted him to run. So for him to make that bold decision of supporting a collapsing government, there has to be something. Yeah. And after that meeting at State House, Gideon Moi and Ruto moved to Kabarak to hold a meeting there. And that meeting looked more of a tribal meeting because all the communications and the addresses were done in Kalenjin. Yeah. So when the president accuses people of tribalism, when it comes to his survival, he wouldn't mind going the tribal route. Yeah. So that's where they announced and clarified that Gideon Moi had agreed to withdraw from the Baringo senatorial seat, and that Kanu, the party for Gideon, also agreed to join the broad-based government. They agreed to move and join the broad-based government that has been growing broader and broader every time. That it seems to accommodate more people every day. Even there's more space for Kalonzo. We'll discuss that also. So Ruto admitted that he needed the senator, the needed Gideon Moi to help him pull together, and it is something close to a younger brother or a step brother coming in to ask for assistance, because at this time we know UDA is unpopular and is struggling throughout the country. And these by-elections are like are the real midterm elections for UDA. So the president is trying as much as he can to ensure he gets the seat. He doesn't retain any, so that he gets the confidence he needs and the people get the confidence in him as he moves to 2027. So, in that pact, of course, we know behind the scenes in Parliament there are things that were discussed. Of course, they not come out to say what is what they said or what, but something went in to convince Gideon Moi to drop out of the race. Something happened, and it may remain a secret for quite some time because we wouldn't know. But with time, the results of that meeting will start being seen throughout. So, in my analysis, or in my speculations, I see that there is a handshake, a handshake between KANU and UDA, or between Gideon Moi and Ruto, and politicians allied to the UDA party or the government have been going around praising Gideon Moi for joining the broad-based government and coming in strongly to laud the former senator Gideon Moi and Ruto for holding the Rift Valley together. So there is no doubt that there was a handshake. There was a handshake, and they decided to bury their hatchet because they have not been seeing each other eye to eye politically. So at the same time, these are dynasties. If you look at how Ruto has been collecting his friends, political friends, in the last a year or two, you would see. The first one was Raila Odinga crossing over to the government. Then the president also reached out to Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the former president, to come and assist him in running the government. And now, the president has also moved in to the son of the former president, Gideon Moi, who mainly he has some influence in the Rift Valley politics. He comes in and convinces him to move in. So if you look at one point, Ruto is recollecting or is collecting is collecting those magic stones that have worked before, bringing these dynasties together to save his political career, so that if they go down, the reason why you can see even Gideon Moi coming in is that when Ruto goes down, that's what he wants. If he goes down, he doesn't go down alone. He goes down with a fight. He goes down with people who are also at risk, because when the country turns, these dynasties have a lot of economic power that they've been having for quite some time. So if Ruto manages to convince them to be together, and Gideon Moi was one of the last a stone to join to make it a dynasty. So they are now together, the Odinga dynasty, the Uhuru dynasty, the Moi dynasty, and the Ruto regime. They have all they have come together to save Ruto. There is nothing else about development. There's nothing about the country. There's nothing about uniting the country. What is there is just Ruto, who believes is going down, because if he believed he wanted it would be a good fight for him and a bragging right for Ruto's candidate to beat Ruto's candidate Vincent Kiprono Chemitei to beat Gideon Moi in Rift Valley. But Ruto is very afraid that Gideon Moi might beat the UDA candidate, and beating him would elevate Gideon Moi into a kingpin of the Nandi people, or of the Rift Valley. So here, of course, now the KANU candidate Gideon Moi, who was supposed to be the KANU candidate, will have to support Chemitei and campaign for him in Baringo. And I also believe for Gideon Moi to leave that seat, to get out of the way, for UDA, money has to exchange hands. There's no way Gideon Moi just left this seat like that. There's no way he just, out of good faith, there is money, there's business interest, because we know these dynasties, they do business with the government. That's how they make money and retain power. So there is money that have exchanged hands, but in return, KANU has to let Ruto win in Baringo, and it seems so. It seems that it's working, because there's very little politically there's very little what do you call, opposition to the UDA candidate in Baringo. But there are wildcards. The wildcard being the Gen Z candidates, the independent candidates, and the people who seem to be who do not really approve of the UDA government. At the same time, Baringo has not really been a full supporter of Ruto as such. They have their own way of doing things. You can see that if you look at their politics, it has a KANU identity to it. There's some KANU aspects in Baringo, and it means it puts Gideon Moi and Ruto at loggerheads and this just this merger, or this cooperation between Gideon Moi and Ruto, is just a way for Ruto to gain to at least hang on the Rift Valley for some time. So I don't know if the people of Baringo will accept a Ruto candidate. I don't know. They voted for one in 2022. However, with the dwindling influence and popularity of the president, we don't know. We don't know if they'll accept the UDA candidate or they're going to reject him. And the fact that Moi has withdrawn from the race tells you that, and the response from the Gideon Moi supporters tells you that these are the people who can do something different from what we think, and they might disappoint Ruto. The chances are very slim. The chances of them voting the other way, because they are likely to follow what Gideon Moi told them. But how many people are going to rebel from government positions, from Gideon's position, and charter their own path? Yeah. So it's going to be a very interesting race to see. So in the end, Gideon's decision to let his political to shelve his senatorial ambitions and join the broad-based government is definitely personal, but it also gives some political signals to people. It shows that the leadership in the Rift Valley is actually forcefully changing. You cannot be sure of what the Rift Valley people will do, especially from Baringo. And it forces the president to at least try to make a very simple way of him going through the election, a simple way of him winning the seat and sending a message to the rest of the country about his popularity. So it will be interesting for us to just watch it and also prepare for 2027 to look at how politics will be played, because the strategies that are being used now are similar strategies that will be employed in 2027. So that being said, I'm Hopkins Malova, and this has been the Hopkins Experience. Tell me, what do you think? Did Gideon Moi make the right move? What are the impacts do you think Gideon Moi's move would have to the political life of Ruto going much? So drop your thoughts in the comment. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and put the notification on, where I'll be doing I think I've started releasing videos frequently, so I'll be releasing them especially to do with politics most of the time. So stick around and put the notification on. Thank you.